Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are just giving a few minutes to allow others to enter before we start. We're looking forward to seeing you and starting the program. Thank you. And while we're waiting, we thank you for introducing yourselves in the chat. We're going to ask you to please keep yourselves muted. And we want you to know that we're going to take questions at the end of the session. This is going to be recorded and disseminated afterwards and posted on YouTube. And we're going to ask our coordinator, Annabelle, to take it away.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. We will get started in a moment here. Like Pamela said, feel free to introduce yourselves in the chat. Welcome to everyone from all over the world. Very happy to have you here. Let's just get started. So today we're going to be going over the virtual platform for virtual parallel events, and then we'll chat a bit about some important info that all the in-person parallel event organizers should be aware of. We'll give you some tips on how to improve participant engagement with your event. We'll share some resources and some frequently asked questions, and then we will take some of your questions that are not answered in frequently asked questions. So I'll let Pamela and Ivy give a little welcome to start us off.
Thank you, Annabelle. Is Ivy here? Well, again, welcome everyone. Oh, Ivy is here. Ivy, you're muted. Annabelle, can you please unmute Ivy?
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you so much. I'm going to start it off, Pamela.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is so exciting to have all of you here. So this is just for the virtual platform itself, like talking about the VFairs platform. I just wanted to, before going into everything, I wanted to particularly really thank all that's happening behind the scenes to make sure that all of your very precious parallel event applications are being reviewed thoroughly. There's a lot that goes into it. As you know, we're like a homegrown, office. We're not outsourcing this, which means that it's very meticulously done in person and by hand. And particularly, I wanted to thank Margarita Jones, who has been helping us. But more than anything, Hootie has been a champion, organizing all of us. You know, she is past chair. She has so much experience going through this process. And she's also a forum producer, but I really, really know how much she pours her heart and soul into making sure that we accommodate everyone. And virtual, not as much. I could say that for in person particularly is big challenge, but I wanted to just give a shout out, and then also to the coordinators, Annabelle and Rachel, for really like doing for all of that. And I have to thank Pamela, of course, because she's really the rock now. And I am supporting and as much as I can, and thank all of you for being here today. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Ivy. And I hate to sound like like I'm repeating you, but I too want to acknowledge the work of our very small team. We ask you to have patience with us because our team is so very small. And Hootie, who is, as Ivy said, our past chair, has done a yeoman's task of bringing all of this together. And we know that we rescheduled the training, and it was because we had capacity issues, and we wanted to make sure that everything would be perfect by the time we had the training. So to Hootie and to Annabelle Gregg and Rachel Guerrera and Margarita and our executive committee, everyone who has poured everything into making this a reality, I want to give kudos and thanks. I also want to speak about Momin, who is going to give you the overview of the platform and VFairs. They have been phenomenal to work with. And if you think about your experience in signing into the platform, that wonderful aerial view, that's all VFairs. And the way that you didn't have any problem logging in, and you didn't have to send us messages that you can't get through, that's all VFairs. So I want to give Momin and VFairs a big thank you for their work. Now, what I'd like to remind you, our valued participants, we appreciate you having these parallel events and sharing your knowledge, sharing your perspective. Make sure that you're taking notes, because the information that you're going to get today is going to be dense, and you're not going to be able to exactly remember everything. So take notes and then take the time to review the recording. And with this, and with appreciation, I turn the program over to our coordinators, Hootie and Momin. Thank you.
Hi, Pamela. I don't think Momin has entered the room yet, so maybe we can jump right to in person, and then once he enters, we can go into virtual.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for those kind words, both of you. It seems that we are at capacity and Momin can't get in, but I can't believe that is true. So I'm asking him to try again. I think it is fair to start with the virtual. So let's hope that he does get in. I think too many people tried to get in at the same time, and some people got the notification that we're at capacity, and I know we're not. So hopefully, I mean, I'm ready to jump in as well, but thank you for your patience. I'm asking him to try one more time. Let's see if he can jump in.
Thank you, Rachel, because our capacity is supposed to be 500 and they're at 300. Thank you, Sandra. Our capacity was supposed to be 500, and they may have bumped us down to 300. So perhaps.
Yeah, and then somebody else just said that they were able to get in after. We've got. Oh, thank you. Okay. Thanks everyone for being here. We will start with the in-person parallel event information. I thank you all, and I thank Ivy and Pam for their trust in me to take this on. And the one thing I can tell you is that we are back to hosting in-person parallel events in the 3 locations prior to COVID that we used to host. So I will definitely start by letting you know, hold on one second. I want to make sure that I follow my script and I don't miss anything. So the 3 locations, and I'm going to turn all these texts off, are Church Center, of course, 777 United Nations Plaza, across the street from the UN. We have 5 rooms there. And Salvation Army, I don't know if Victoria Edmonds is on this call. We're so grateful for their generosity and open heart to provide us 2 incredibly beautiful rooms, only 12-minute walk away from the United Nations. We have 2 rooms there, and the Armenian Cultural Center, which Sun Young started with 12 years ago, or maybe even more by now. And we're going back there for more than parallel events, and I'll explain that to you later. So we have 2 rooms there as well. And that's at 630 2nd Avenue, corner of 35th Street. Again, about a 12, 13-minute walk from the UN. So for you all in person, I think what's important to note is that if you have been there before, the rules are the same. You have 90 minutes for your session. There is no compromise of timing of your parallel event session when it's in person. With the virtual, obviously, there's a lot more flexibility. You can make it longer, shorter, you can change the date and time. But with in-person parallel events, obviously, we have to be very strict. And once you have your time and date, we cannot change it. And you cannot stay more than 90 minutes in your session. What we have done is, as you all know, we book every 2 hours, which allows a participant, an organizer, to enter the room 15 minutes before to set up and must vacate in 15 minutes after your session is done, which is 90 minutes. I'm taking my time explaining this because this question comes up all the time, and I think sometimes it's very confusing for people. So 2 hours in between is for a full session, but your 90 minutes is what you occupy the room. We're allowing 15 minutes to set up and 15 minutes to vacate the room. And I implore you all to follow these rules carefully. It is the most important thing to make sure that our parallel events in person are moving on time. All locations have Wi-Fi capacity. Every room has access to audio-visual. You will have a screen, you will have a mic, and you will have an equipment that you can attach your laptop to show PowerPoints, videos, and you may even try to Zoom people in and out. What I want to underline here is that although all of this is available, like any other space, even the fanciest spaces that we could have rented that could have cost us $2,000 a room can have technical issues. So I want to alert everyone. And if you are having an in-person meeting, if you don't want any glitches, we recommend that you do not do hybrid. If you insist and you want to try the hybrid, please go ahead and try. We did this last year, and some people succeeded, some people were not able to do it. So I'm just giving you my own personal experience and what we as an EC decided to alert you all. Every location has upgraded their Wi-Fi. We are hoping to upgrade every equipment as well, and we're working on it, and they guarantee that everything's going to work. But to make your event easier to handle, try to make it truly in person. Enjoy the in person, have a PowerPoint, have a video if you want to show it. If you have to Zoom someone in, you go ahead and try. But please be aware that this is an issue that can happen to anybody, anytime. So the other thing that is really important, the rules for in-person are also very strict. To be invited back into these spaces, we must implore you to stay with the rules and not bring in food or sugary drinks. Water is allowed, but nothing else. You may not serve any drinks or food. You may not allow your participants to bring in food. You may not attach anything to the walls or move the tables and chairs around, because you can imagine if you move anything, it's going to take longer than 15 minutes to set up and to go back. If you have to, for any important reason, and you have a very small group, go ahead, use your judgment to do it, but allow enough time to put everything back the way it was. We also have this rule for years, and I'm sure some of you will understand why. We do not allow any selling of items during these events. It's distracting, and it really disrupts the process of what is more important is the panel discussion and you know, what we're all there for, right? And we do have a list of organizers who break these rules. We do kick them out, and you can understand why we do this, because one person breaking the rules affects hundreds of people. As of right now, we have close to 400 in-person parallel events, and it looks like it might be close to 400 virtual events. We're finalizing the last few. This year, I'm also going to credit Ivy Pam and our new fierce leadership that they tried to do partnerships to allow even more people to have the opportunity to have parallel events. And we're doing the best we can to also honor those who wanted to have parallel events. And that's one of the reasons why it took us a little bit longer to finalize everything. But we're very happy to say that so many of you stepped up and agreed to partner with others, which gave more opportunities to more people. There's also the COVID requirements, or any kind of, at this point, it's not just COVID. We all have to be respectful of each other. This is a very diverse community coming from all over the world. We always recommend masking if you can. We provide masks. We will provide them again if you forget them. Yet use your own judgment, right? But more importantly, the safety guidelines of CSW is very important. I'm going to share that again. And I want to talk very briefly, and then I'll hand over the mic. I hope I'm not paying attention to a lot of the texts, but I can also answer questions while we're waiting for a moment. The safety guidelines is very important, especially with in-person. For those of you who have moderated before and organized events, I know you understand why I'm saying that, and I would love all of you to, if you have other tips to make it easier for others, please put it in the chat. No matter how hard we work, we know that there will be disruptors. It happens in every situation. It could be political, it could be personal beliefs, it could be any of the reasons why people feel hurt and need to be heard more than others, and sometimes go beyond the usual participation and become disruptors. What this means is that people who raise hands and take over the conversation or use loud language, inappropriate language, those are not allowed, period. They will be asked to leave the room, and the organization they represent or they themselves will not be allowed to come back in. And you can understand again why this is so important. We are here to discuss human rights, feminist, gender equality topics that are important to all of us. We need to stay focused on the themes that perhaps that specific parallel event wants to discuss so that they can achieve the goals that they came there for. So I really ask moderators to train themselves, to train each other, to understand how to run the meeting, to avoid disruptors. And if there is a disruptor, there will be people in each floor, in each venue, where you can ask to help remove that person. So that actually will be an important message that you also can share with your constituents and friends. Promoting your events. There's so many different ways, and all of you, I'm sure, have expert ideas on how to do it. We are also doing handbook ads and exhibit booths on the platform, so take advantage of that. Those applications will stay open later because it is easier to upload these requests, and they also go through an application process. We need to make sure, again, that organizations who are coming into our space are respectful of human rights and abide by our rules. Just, again, not because we're so special and important, but to protect the overall audience. And let's see, you will also, yeah, I already talked about the spaces, and oh, very important, in-person parallel events will also be listed on the portal. There will be an app for the portal, so that will be easy for everyone to check. I know last year so many people missed our paper handbook. So many people were requesting paper handbooks. You must understand why we are choosing not to do paper handbooks for so many different reasons. Cost is number one, but also climate justice. I mean, even UN has gone paperless, and there we are trying to make all this information as accessible and available as possible. So we will have a digital handbook that you can also look up for events. We are also listing all the parallel events with themes, so you can search easier to themes that you are interested in. And let's see if there's any other thing I am missing. Yeah, maybe I should just stop for a second, and Pam, my fearless leader, tell me how we're doing.
We're doing wonderfully. And Hootie, that was such a comprehensive overview of in-person events. Thank you. And Moment has been able to enter. So we will be able to now present the wonderful, exciting new platform as soon as Hootie is able to finish her presentation. Hootie, do you have anything else to add? Oops. Okay. Well, at this time, I'd like to introduce to you our wonderful tech advisor, Momin, who is going to introduce you to our amazing platform. And every time I see the opening screen of this platform, I get really excited, and I hope you do also. Momin, the mic is yours.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Pamela. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for your time today for this training. So let me introduce myself. So my name is Momin. I'm from B Fairs. I'm the project manager of this event. So today's training about the parallel events, like how you guys can log in into the backend and access your sessions and make edits into the descriptions, and how you can update your timings and set the keywords accordingly. So let me just quickly share my screen and let me know when you see it. Okay.
Yes, we see it.
Perfect. So this is the backend area. So how we can access it on this area? So we have to go to this NGO CSW68 forum.vface.com/backend. You will be able to receive, you will be receiving all these details from email soon from the NGO CSW side. So from the backend side, how you guys can log in into the event. We have also created a guide as well. So you can also have all the step-by-step requirements included into that guide. How you can log in into the event, what's your email ID and password would be, how you can make those edits, which fields are editable, which fields are not editable. So now how we can log in into the event. So you have already registered your event, your parallel event with your email ID and password. So the password would be your registration ID. So use your email ID and the registration ID as well. So in the email section, in the email field, I've added my email ID, and now I'm going to add my password over here. Once I have added my password, I just have to click on sign in. And now the system will take me to this dashboard. Over here, I can see all the sessions which I am associated with right now. You can see that right now I'm associated with 3 sessions. In your case, there would be a 1 session, 2 session accordingly. Now on this dashboard, how we can edit the session. So you can see that there's a 3 session listed over here. We can see the title as well. So if I want to edit the first one, I just have to click on edit. Over here, I can see this interface. We have title, the description area. I can upload handouts. The handouts would be your PDF documents, doc file, Excel files, or any image or flyers. We can see how we can add document handouts as well. And over here, we have a URL. So once you schedule your session on Google Meet, Zoom, WebEx, or any other platform which you are comfortable, just add your attendee link over here. So on the live day of the event, when the session would be going live, attendees click on the join button and they can join you on that Zoom or any other platform room accordingly. Right below, we have a start time. So if you see the start time is already mentioned. So if you think that the time is correct, you don't need to change it. But if let's suppose if the time is not correct or the date is not correct, so you can easily be able to update it. So right now it's 10th of March. If I would like to change it to 12, or if I would like to change the time to 10 to 11 a.m. like that. And then right below, we have another field, keywords. So if I would like, so normally, so we are already uploading your session. So keywords would be there, but if you would like to change it or edit it, so keyword 1, keyword 2, and keyword 3. So there's a restriction. So you can only be able to add only 3 keywords. So right now you can see that I've added 3 keywords. If I try to add the next one, the 4th one, the system will give me an error. Only 3 keywords are allowed. Coming on to the top, the title, you will be able to see the title, but you will not be able to make any change into the title. You will be able to change in the description. You can copy paste the description. This is the rich text editor. Let's suppose if I add description text, if I would like to bold it, or if I would like to change the alignment to left, middle, right, or if I would like to add some bullet points, I can use this option, or if I would like to add numbering, so I can use this option. Or if I would like to hyperlink the text as well, I can do it from this option, insert edit link. When I click on it, or I can add any link over here, or I can set the target to new window. So when anybody click on that hyperlink, that attendee would be redirected to your website, or you can add any link in, you can add any link over here. Or if you would like to insert your logo as well, or any image, you can easily be able to add it. Just click on image icon, find the image. Let's suppose if I would like to add this logo. And now the system will give you the dimension as well. So right now I can see the 300 by 146. So if I see that's a really big image, I don't want that to be too much big. So what we're gonna do, I can easily be able to update it from here as well. 50. Okay, 50 by 24. Okay, so now you can see that the image is not very short, but I can drag and update the size as well. Right below we have handouts. Now how we can handouts? So if I click on add handouts, I will be able to see this pop up. I can give the title. Let's suppose talk 1, upload right below. So I can add PDF, document files, images as well. So I can just use this image and then click on add handouts. And there's no limit. You can add multiples, like you can add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's up to you. And then how we can delete it. So let's suppose if you add multiple documents over here, and now you would like to delete them all, you just have to click on this option, delete all handouts. Otherwise, if you would like to delete them individually, we just have to click on this cross icon and then update it. Now I make some changes into my session. I'll just have to click on update. And all the changes have been updated. If I click on edit again, you can see that all the changes are there. Now to the next part, because I'm the session moderator, I can make all these changes. Now, if I would like to add a new speaker to my session, so how we can add it? We just have to click on the speaker option, the second option. This page with this another pop-up would be open. Just click on add. These fields would appear. Give the speaker name, speaker 5. And then add an email ID. If you would like to give any organization name, you can add it over here. If you would like to add a headshot of that speaker, you can also upload it over here. Let's suppose if I would like to add headshot, just click on upload image and find that logo or image. And now you can see that there is a size given over here. So you have to adjust the image into that particular size, because this is a PNG image. That's why you can see this. There's no white background. Then cropping. If I would like to add bio, I can add it over here, or if you would like to just copy paste it, you can also do it. And this is also a rich text editor. You can add bullet points, change the alignments. So exactly the same, just like you can make edits in the description, similarly over here as well. Now, at the bottom, we have 3 toggles over here. let's suppose if you would like to add a speaker, but you don't want to show that speaker into the front end, the main area where attendee can see it. So you just have to hide it. So that's an option available. But right below, we have two options available. So if you are adding a new speaker, so this field, the second field is important over here. Why is that so? So because you are not setting up the password for the speaker. So once you add a new speaker, just turn on this toggle, send setup email to the speaker. So the speaker will receive an email and that speaker will set up the password according to the requirement, and then use the same conditions to log in into the event and into the backend as well. Now there's another toggle, session moderator. So what exactly the functionality of session moderator? Because I'm the moderator, I can make all these edits, but you would like to add a new speaker, but you don't want to give them and give that speaker edit access. So you don't need to turn on this toggle. So that speaker will be able to log in into the backend, but will not be able to make any change into the session. Now, if I just save it, now the speaker files, the speaker has been added. And if I go back to my email ID section, so you can see that I've received a speaker profile registration email. I click on this link. This page would open where I can see my first name, last name, or I can set my password according to my requirement and save it and use the same credentials to log in into the event. So coming back to the edit again. So this is the interface for the virtual sessions. For the virtual session, if you click on edit, you would be able to see these fields: title, the description. Title is not editable. The description is editable. We can add handouts. You can add the meeting URL. You can set the start time, and you can add the keywords, maximum 3, and then update it. And you can add multiple speakers as well. And if you would like to make any edits in the speakers, like in their first name, last name, or in their email, we just have to click on edit, make those adjustments, and then save it again. Now, how we can make edits to the in-person session. So the process will remain the same. In-person session moderator, enter their email ID and password, land on this dashboard. Over here, they can see the sessions listed over here, which they belongs to. Now, the second session is in-person session. So if I click on edit, I would be able to see these fields only. I can see the title. This is not editable, but the description area is editable. I can make all these edits, or I can upload handouts as well. Suppose talk to. That's it. So as an in-person session, you will be, as an in-person session moderator, you will not be able to see the start time and the meeting link and the keyword options. The only option you will be able to see only the title, the description, the handouts, and the only and you can make changes in the description, and you can also upload handouts. But for the in-person session, we want you to add each and every bit of detail, which would be handy for the attendees, like uh, at what time the session would be going live, on which auditorium, on which section, each and every bit of detail, which would be handy for the attendees. We recommend you to add it in the description area. And then once you make all the changes, just update it. And now as an in-person session speaker moderator, if you would like to add a new speaker to your session, which attendee can see it on the front end as well, like those who are the speakers. So the process will remain the same. You just have to click on add, given the name, speaker, let's suppose 676, enter an email ID. If you would like to add an organization name, you can add it over here. If you would like to add an headshot image, you can add it over here as well. Suppose I can add it over here and use now this logo and adjust the size into the designated area. Done cropping. If you would like to add the bio as well for the speaker, let me add a bio. Now, then set up email to the speaker. If I would like to make that speaker a moderator as well, so that speaker can also log in into the backend and make some edits. So I can turn on this toggle as well and then save it. So I've added a new speaker, and then the new speaker will also be able to receive the new email, exactly the same with a different unique link. Click on it and set up the password and save it. Now, as an in-person session moderator speaker or a virtual session speaker, once you make all those edits, you upload all the handouts, all the handy material. Now you would like to see how your session would be updated on the platform, or all the changes you have done on the backend. It is updated on the front end. How we can see it now? So what you're going to do, you have to go to the landing page of the event. So NGO CSW68 Forum.vface.com. Over here, you would be able to see the login button. You can see the login button from here and the top right corner as well. Enter your email ID. So the same credentials would be working from the backend and from the front end as well. Log in. Enter your password. Not now. So once you log in into the event, you will be land on this exterior lobby area. Over here, you would be able to see all these buildings, and the my exterior lobby is still loading. So you will be able to see a message over here to just click here to enter. Yeah, enter the NGO CSW68 forum. So once I click on it, I'll be redirect to this building like that. And once you log in into the from the exterior lobby to the interior lobby, you will be land on this home page. Over here, you will be able to see different navigations over here. How you can see your session. So you would be able to see this option in the top navigation bar, the forum agenda, parallel events. You can see the option. If you scroll down over here, you will be able to see that option over here as well. So once you click on that option, you will be redirected to this auditorium space. Over here, you will be able to see this, a big screen that's saying click to access forum agenda and parallel events. So once you click on that middle screen, you will be redirected to your parallel events where you will be able to see all the sessions would be listed according to the dates. Still loading. So okay, let me show it from here as well. Okay, like that. Yep. So over here, you can see that all the sessions have been listed over here. So we can see March 10 sessions, March 16. You will be able to search let's suppose you are giving the presentation on March 12. You can just click on it and then find your session accordingly and see it. Right now, you can see that we have made changes in the first session. So you can see that the description, I can see I have already uploaded this image as well in my description area. I can see my start time, or I can see this handout option as well. When I click on it, I'll be redirected to my next screen where I can see this document. Let's suppose if you upload PDF document file, just and at any click on it, they would be redirected to this document and file where they can download it or review it accordingly. Similarly, if I scroll down, I can see this in-person session we have uploaded, the new speaker over here as well, and the document as well. Now, if you see the difference, this is the virtual session where we can see the timer is going on right now at the moment, like the 40 days, 23 hours, 8 minutes, and 24 seconds. But in the in-person session, there would be no timing because this is not a live session. So we recommend you to add each and every bit of detail in the description area so attendees knows about it. The in-person session is going live on the in-person location, and that's the time. And once you upload all the handouts, that would be appearing over here on this section. Now coming back to the dashboard again, I would like to cover one more point over here. So let's suppose if you log in into the backend and you will be able to just see the dashboard area. And now you can see that there's no time mentioned over here. So as a virtual session, what you're gonna do, just click on it. You will see the schedule, go to the March and just select the time accordingly. Like I'm presenting on 14th, set the time on 4 p.m. let's suppose. And then I can add my meeting link accordingly and then just update it. If I just refresh it again. And scroll down, now you can see that it's on the session third, the timing, the 4 p.m. and the timer is now available. So for those speakers, when they log in into the backend and they can see this, if your time is not mentioned over here and the start time field is total empty. So what you're gonna do, you can reach out to us once you update all the changes. Please send us an email on this technical assistant email. This is our customer support email ID, NGO CSW68 Forum at getvfest.io. So we can update your session according to the relevant group accordingly. And let's suppose if your credentials is not working, So you can also reach out to us on this email ID, NGO CSW68 Forum @getreface.io. So we can assist you accordingly, and we can, if needed, we can update your credentials accordingly as well. Any questions? Anything is not clear?
Moment, there's a question. Are you finished with your presentation?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. If you could stop sharing your screen.
Yep.
And there are 2 hands raised. Rachel? Rachel Baird. Okay, we'll move on to Shayla.
I wasn't able to unmute. You just allowed me to mute. Thank you. I have many questions. Part of it is the visuals, and some of your speaking is breaking up and you're going really fast. I didn't see even how to click into how to add the speaker information. Then it wasn't clear when you were talking about the attendees versus the moderator, whether if that's the same, if I'm the moderator, whether I need to add another person. You have the link to contact each speaker for them to fill out something, and then that wasn't clear whether they're following that link and putting in their own password, or we are, or whether we can access that after. Then I kind of followed you to another screen. Also, you clicked on an image on the grounds. I thought you were talking about in person, and then it got complicated from there. And also, I wasn't sure what the function of the hyperlink was. So if you could go over all those, if you can even remember that, that'd be great. Thoroughly confused.
Yep. Yep, sure. So we can go it again one by one. Okay. First, so can you see my screen? Right. And Rachel, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So Rachel, once you log in into the backend, and you will land on this dashboard area. Over here, you can see your session, which you belongs to. You just have to click on edit. And then you would be able to see this description area. Let's suppose you just copy paste the description. Now you would like to hyperlink some of the text. Let's suppose you would like to hyperlink your website link over there. So what you're going to do, you just have to, once you copy paste it, just highlight the text like that, and then click on this second last option, insert edit link. Once you click on it, you will be able to see this pop up. Add your URL over here in this section, and then select the target to new window. So once anybody click on that text, that attendee will automatically be taken to your website area.
Thank you.
Okay.
I can unmute again. Is that for the Zoom link for the actual meeting itself?
No. So are you having a virtual session? Rachel, are you having a virtual session?
I'm having a virtual session, yes.
Okay, so basically for the virtual session, so what you're going to do, if you're going to, your session would be going live on Zoom, so you have to add a attendee link in this URL section.
Right. So that's the Zoom attendee link. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I understood that. Right.
Yep. And let's suppose, so now we covered 2 points over here now. So basically, if if someone is a in-person session speaker, because they cannot see this URL link, because the session is not going live on the platform, that is going live on the in-person location. So they can add all the handy links over here in the description area. So let's suppose if they are, yeah, that's for the in-person, like if they want to add any of the Zoom link or if they're streaming something, then they can use this option. Then they can insert any link over here. But for the virtual session, the Zoom link, Google Meets, WebEx, you have to add all the attendee link over here in the URL section.
And then click update. All right.
Yeah, then click update.
Where is the speaker access?
Yeah, so right beside edit, you can see this speaker option, this icon. Just click on add. When you click on it, you would be able to see this interface. This is another pop-up. So you will see yourself listed over here. You can add it in your profile. You can make changes in the name and email ID. And then now let's suppose if you would like to add a new speaker, right? So then you have to click on add. You will see these different fields would pops out. Give the speaker name. Let's suppose if I get just.
Great. So I can add everything then in the bio and their, that's great.
Yeah, each and everything. The only thing you cannot be able to add password. That's why you have to give them, you have to turn on this toggle, send setup email to the speaker. So the speaker, let's suppose you have your colleague email ID. So your colleague will be receiving an email and they just click on the link and they can see the password field, just update the password and update it. That's it.
Okay, so I guess my question is if they have why are they doing that? What are they going to have access to? And can they just access the meeting through Zoom like everyone else, or is this?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so definitely. So I think there is a confusion. So if you don't want them to like log in into the front end, log in into the back end, so you don't need to turn on this toggle. So they will not be able to receive any email. Their information would be populated onto the front end. And on the given day, because on the given day, you don't have to log in into the front end area. You have to, given the presentation on the Zoom area, the platform is only for attendees to log in into the event and access the session from the platform.
Including myself.
Yeah, including yourself. The only thing why we recommend, like once you make all those edits, you log in into the front end, like you log in into the event and just review your session. Like you have make some edits in the description, you have uploaded some of the speaker, like the speaker, you uploaded some speakers. So the speaker information is correct. You have uploaded the bio, just click on that speaker name. You can see the bio as well. So once you make sure everything is good, just log out. On the given day, you have.
And what if they have a slide presentation? Where would that go in the back end ahead of time or actually just live in the Zoom?
The presentation, the presentation you would be giving, you will be sharing through the Zoom, right? While sharing your screen. But if you would like to add prior to the time or after the session, and let's suppose, so there are now two ways. When you're done with the presentation, you would like to share their presentation with attendees. Right. So how you can do it? One is that way you can just prior to the time, you can just click edit on your session and you can upload your slide deck through this handout. And
so they can give me their presentation and I can add it to the handout. They don't need to do it.
Oh, definitely, because it's up to you.
Great. Okay.
Yep. So you can update it from the prior to the time, and you can also update it once the session has been ended. Just log in into the backend again and upload all those handouts.
And then if I'm the moderator, I don't need to fill that information in, right, under speakers. That's just if we have more than one, or the facilitator.
Yeah, it's no. So basically, just like I mentioned, so the speaker information. Let's suppose you are the host.
Yeah. Moderator. So is that just so I'm listed as well as the moderator? Does that make sense?
Panel discussion, let's suppose you have 5 speakers. So what you're going to do, why we are saying you the moderator? Yeah, so why we are saying you the moderator? Because you make changes on the back end.
Right. So I need to list myself if I'm making changes.
No, yourself is already listed. No. So you already listed in your session. So you don't have to make any changes in your profile. The only thing you can make changes, just let's suppose if you like to add your bio and your headshot as well. So you can make those changes. But your speaker profile will already be there once you log in into the backend.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much.
Shayla, you have a question? Shayla, you're muted. Annabelle, can someone please unmute Shayla?
Oh, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I have several questions. Many of them apply to questions others have asked, and thank you for this excellent job, Moment. The first question is, can you go over the login one more time? On where we go to login, will we get that email saying login here? Then the second point is, can we have a cheat sheet on some of these main questions that everyone's asking, and of course I'm asking as well, login, speakers, moderators, adding and so on. And then also include a list of key links that we need to go to. I have copied, pasted, but it'd be nice to have some key links that we need to go to for VFairs, for NGO websites, so on. And then also editing of moderators. If we wish to remove a moderator or add a moderator, how do we do that? Time zone is a very important thing for global event. So the answer I saw was that the time zone will be that of the organizer. Is there a button that attendees can click on to see what that time zone converts into their area? So I might put 9 o'clock PST, but how do I let everyone know what it'll be in their area? So that's another point. And if we record our event, how do we then upload to this VFairs website? And then also a good question is, when we've all scheduled our events, but when is a less busy time that we should perhaps change to? Because if we all go for 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning, and then all the other time zones, there's very few. How do we find out when is a less busy traffic time? I apologize for so many questions, but many of them are people's questions as well.
And thank you, Shayla, for that. And in light of time, I'm going to ask us to do a few things. The first is I'm going to ask people to put their questions in the chat with your email address, so that we can have all of your questions answered, because we're going to close this at 11:30. And with the number of questions that are being answered, if each person comes and brings 8 questions, we're going to run out of capacity. So I'm asking you to please put your questions in the chat. The moment I'm going to ask you if you can please explain how you get to this screen. How do people get to this VFair screen? Thank you.
Definitely. Yep. So definitely you will be receiving this link, how you can access to this backend area, right? So basically, once you access this website, let me just go to this landing page again. And then just flash backend. So you will be able to land on this page. But definitely you will be receiving a handful materials. Just like I mentioned, we have created a guide for you as well, like how you can access to this link. You just click on that link and you will be redirected to this page. Over here, how you can log in to your backend area. So you have to use your email ID, which you have registered for a particular session. So you just have to mention over here, like you enter your email ID, then your password. The password is your ID that your I think your parallel event session ID, which you will be receiving those details from the NGO CSW68 soon. So once you receive those emails, but your ID would be there. So you already know about your ID and you just have to mention your ID. You have to enter your ID over here in the password section. And once you are done with the email ID and password area, just click on this sign in option. Once you logged in, you will be land on this dashboard and you will be able to see the session which you belongs to. If you are only giving presentation for only one session, then you will only see one session over here. If you are giving presentation for 2 sessions, so you will see 2 sessions listed over here. Now, if I click on speaker section, let's suppose I've added these 2 speakers over here. Now, if I would like to edit any of the details, I just have to click on edit and make those edits. And save it. Or if I would like to delete any of the speakers, how I can do it? I just have to click on edit. Sorry, this delete option, the second one, and then just, okay. And that speaker would be deleted from the session. Okay, can you unmute yourself again and ask the same questions again? I think if I...
Shayla, can you please unmute and restate your questions?
Oh, thank you so much, Pamela. Yes, Momin, a couple of questions I asked that apply to everyone is about the time zone conversion.
Yeah.
So that applies to everyone. Editing of moderators, adding and removing moderators, networking. How do we network with other delegates there? That's important. And how do we move our event to a less busy time frame? These are, and we needed the key links and a FAQ sheet later. If you use these, that would be so helpful.
Yep. So now let's suppose you have added 2 of the speakers and both of them are moderators, but now you would like to make changes, like you don't want to give the moderator access, like the other speaker can make changes on the backend, like on your session. So what you're going to do, you just have to go to that speaker profile, edit it, and just turn off that toggle and save it. So that speaker will not longer make any changes. So once we log in into the backend, he will not be able to make any change, or he or she will not be able to make any change.
Okay.
Yep. And so the session, so the event time is, I think the EST we have set up for the backend. So this is like the, you can say the global timing. But let's suppose we have a global audience. Now, how these, like, let's suppose they can see the EST time zone, someone has the PST. So how they can manage and how they can attend these and how they can see the timings on the front end. So if I go to the front end now and scroll up, you can see that the event time zone right now in EST. But when they click on this option, they would be able to see over here their own time zone in which they are right now. So right now I'm in GMT +5. So when I click on it, all of these session timing would be changed into my time zone. So then I can add all of these sessions according to my schedule. Like I can add into my schedule as an attendee. I wanted to join this session. I can add it in this session into my schedule, or I can go to another March 20, March 19, and I can add it accordingly to my schedule as well. Sounds good. Now, how you can see the less busy time. So basically, I think once you log in into the front end, you have to go to each and every group. Let's suppose you are presenting right now on March 11th. So you can see that, okay, so I can see, okay, 10 a.m. sessions right now is going live on that day 5, but at 12 p.m. there is only one session or there is no session. So that's how you can identify and add and make changes on your session accordingly. Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. And the networking question.
For the networking, like how you can communicate with attendees and how you can communicate with other speakers as well. So there is a chat platform. You can see that over here, there is a chat widget. So we do have a dedicated lounge area. So once you click on the lounge area, you will be redirected to the lounge space. Over here, you would be able to see different chat room would be listed over here. And we do have a option over here. If I just scroll down. The
In a moment, we're
networking.
going to cover this at the February monthly meeting. So for everyone who's interested in these features, please come to the February monthly meeting where we're going to look at how do users utilize our CSW68 Forum platform. Okay, can we move on, Laura? Laura Nagel. Let's unmute Laura.
Thank you. My question is whether we are responsible for running the parallel sessions on this dashboard, or if there will be someone else actually running our sessions for us. And two, if we, I went up to sign into the platform now, and it asked me to become a member at $60 per person, which I did, but I wasn't sure if I needed to do that before I could get on the platform. But it sort of came up to me that way. I had to pay money before I could get on this platform. Those are my two questions.
Okay, can you just let me know like on which link you just go on and then that asks you the payment?
I found the email that introduced me to logging in to the site, and I went in through the email I received after I registered for the
Laura, if you could send that email, if you could forward it to info@ngocsw.org, we'll take a look at it and respond, because that seems to be something that's not VFAIR specific, and this moment is giving us information on VFAIR. So please send it to info and we will respond to you.
Could you please put that email in the chat? Because I'm
Yes.
not sure I'm hearing it correct.
Yes.
Thanks. And the other
Perfect.
question was whether or not I have to run this session, like be the Zoom moderator. So you're saying yes. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so basically, how exactly this process will work out. This is for all of the parallel events moderators. So the platform we have designed for attendees, basically. The platform is basically for attendees. Why we asking you to just log in into the event to just review your session, like the spot you have selected, go to your group, see your session, the description is good, the title is good, the timing is good. You have added the handouts, click on your handouts and see it. Okay, the handout looks good. After that, you you don't like you are responsible to start the session. Just like this is the meeting going on, you have scheduled a meeting for that particular day. You are responsible for to start the meeting or at your end. You right over here, the process will automatically comes on. Like once you can, if I just share my screen again quickly to show you, go to the parallel events again. So you can see that there is a timer going on. So once the timer will be up, there is a join button will appear. So let's suppose you are giving the presentation on March 12th at 10 a.m. So you have to start your session at your end at 10 a.m. So once the join button will appear, when attendee click on it, they would be redirected to your, let's suppose, Zoom session or Google Meet or WebEx, so they can join it accordingly. So that's the responsibility you have. Like once you schedule the session or your ends, you have to start at that particular time, so attendee can join it smoothly from the
May I ask
platform.
another question?
Yep.
But when will we be assigned a date, and is our completing all the information about our parallel event a prerequisite to being assigned a date?
Moment, if I can jump in here for just a minute. When all of us applied for parallel events, we had to set a date and time. That was part of the application. So when I applied for mine, I had to set a date and time. So unless it's changed, the date and time in your original application is the date and time of your parallel event. So when you go into the back end, you can make a change. But until that time, it's the date and time that you filled in your original application for a virtual parallel event.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
We only have 9 minutes left, and so we're going to ask people to please make your questions succinct, and we're going to Tanya Molina. If we can unmute Tanya.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Just two questions, because you said that we will receive an email to log in with credentials. But in my case, I need to understand who will receive the email. Is the person that is the contact in the side event, or is the person who paid to reserve the side event? Because I need to follow up on this. So who is going to receive the email?
I think the moderator will receive an email, like the information. Let's suppose while submitting your parallel event request, you have mentioned the speaker, the moderators, the organizer's email
Yes.
ID, right? Right.
Yes.
So those
Yes.
will receive an email. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So,
Because
and it is going to be in the future. We haven't received it yet, right?
yep,
Yeah.
you will
Okay.
receive an email. Yeah, because right now, because everybody like you envisioning like how we can access this link. So definitely you will receive this link. Just like I mentioned, we have created a guide as well, like
Okay.
how you can log into the event, how you can make which field is editable, which is not. So
Okay.
all the handful material document, definitely you will receive an email. So it would be seamless and easy process for you. So you don't have to go back to the recording and watch all the recording again. You just go click on the document that is easy for you. Just scroll down and see the step and make those
Yes.
adjustments accordingly.
Okay. And talking about timing, we are like 1 week, 2 weeks, just to be clear, then don't start to push you in order to know if we haven't or not yet received the email. So it will be in 1 week, 2 weeks, or how long it's supposed to be this.
I think Pam, can you or maybe any of your person will be give this answer, like when we are planning to shoot that email to all the organizers to send all these details, but
Within the next 2
I,
weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
And the last question is about my event is online. Sorry, it's an in-person event. So I want to know if is it possible to have simultaneously translators with this?
The in-person, so basically the translators, so just like I mentioned, the in-person session, the information we are populating on the platform on this area, it's just for attendees to know about that. Okay, this session is going live at that day, March 12th, at that time. Let's suppose the in-person location we have auditorium, so that's the room area. So you have mentioned each and everything over here. They just mentioned about the interpreters. So that is for the on location, right? So that is for them. This is not about for the virtual platform, because if you're planning to streaming as well, if you're planning your in-person session stream, then you have, because that's another case. Like then let's suppose if I'm streaming right now, because then you have to handle at your end that point of time, because we just have add a link over here, attendee click on it, and they would be redirected to that streaming. So so your AV team would be managing that, the screen and those interpreter screen as well.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marcone. And it looks like this will be our last question. So for Pastor Peters, Sandra, Paula, Samson, please be sure to put your questions in the chat. And with your email address so we can respond. Moment, Marcone, please unmute.
Okay, got it. About who's going to receive the email with the link, still I'm not really sure. I had one person, let's say Mary, that sent the email with the application, and I had two different organizers, Peter and Paul. Who is going to receive the email with the links, to log into the back end? The organizers or the person who applied initially?
I think the organizers, because we have added the credentials for the organizers.
Okay, that's it, because I was the one who applied, but I didn't receive anything. So I was wondering, so just the organizer will receive it, right?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, and that's why we have mentioned that. Let's suppose the organizers will receive an email and you can see yourself not listed in that speaker section, so you can ask that speaker as well, okay, can you please list me down, so you can also have an access.
Okay.
So that's because once any of your person have an access, so then you have a full access. You can add any of the person on the back end. Now, if you would like to allow them to log in into the back end and make changes, you just have to click on that toggle. Let me just quickly go back and show you as well. So definitely these steps would be available in the document, but let me just quickly show you as well. So you just see that. So once you add a new speaker, if you would like to make that speaker a moderator, just turn on this toggle and save it. So the moderator doesn't mean that it only mean regarding to the session moderator is that speaker can log into the backend and make changes. It doesn't mean that it manages your Zoom session. Like if you schedule your Zoom session at 10 a.m. and or 12 March 10 a.m. So it does not belong to that session. It is only managing and make changes on the backend. That's why we are saying session moderator or speaker moderator, you can say that. But all the speakers and each and every person, those who are involved into that session, they have to join the Zoom session according to the time. And you don't have to log into the event. The only attendees can log into the event. They click on the join button and join as an attendee. If you would like to make sure your session is going live perfectly fine, the join button is working perfectly fine, so you can ask one of your speaker or one of your colleague as well to just log into the front end, go to your session and see the join button, click on it and join as an attendee. So that's how you can make sure it as well. Okay, the session is working perfectly fine.
Okay, I got that.
Mm-hmm.
So just make sure that so the person who ordered, the event, who paid for the, who initiated the whole thing, that answered all the fields there and send you all the information, that person is not going to receive anything, right? That it's just for the organizers. And then the organizers have to do all the setup for the speaker and the moderators and everything.
Yep. So I think Sam or any of the other person will answer this question, like who are the organizers and who are paid for them, or like you don't have, like, while applying for that session, you don't mention yourself as an organizer, your email ID and each and every bit of detail.
Right, no, I didn't. It's the
Oh,
one
you didn't.
who
Okay,
did
so
the
yeah.
request and the other, are organizers.
Yeah, definitely. Then you will not be able to receive that, because you
Okay.
mention, you designate that person, that is the person is the organizer. So that's
Okay.
why so then that person will be receiving it. Yep.
This is different from the other platforms. So that was usually, the other
Yeah.
platforms. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you. That makes it
This is different from other platforms. And this is really the Rolls Royce of platforms. So I think that once you get a chance to go in and look around and kick the tires, you're going to see that this is really a superior experience. So I'd like to thank you all for being here. And I'm going to ask for those whose hands are still up to please put your questions in the chat. We thank you for being here. We thank our coordinators. We thank our consultant, Hootie, who is the producer. And most of all, we thank Momin from VFairs for his presentation and for his patience. I am so impressed with the service that we've received from VFairs. And on top of all of this, right in the application, there is a support button that you can press in order to get help. So again, thank you all for being here. We sincerely appreciate it. And we hope to see you in the near future and at CSW68 Forum. And again, please remember to come to our monthly meeting in February so that you can see the test ride on the NGO CSW68 Forum platform. Thank you. And parallel events are being uploaded. So have patience in your parallel event. You will be able to see it. Thanks again. Goodbye.